Welcome to Parsha Power. This week we have a double portion. It's Mattos and Masei. It is the last two portions of the book of Numbers, the book of Bamidbar. And at the end, when we finish this Shabbos in Shul, we will all get up and scream, Chazak, Chazak, V'nis Chazek. May we strengthen ourselves. We are holding, in the time of year, we're blessing the month of Av, which terrible calamities happened to the Jewish people in the month of Av. And we bless that month. We actually call it Menachem Av, the month that will be transformed and God will comfort us. How do we get strength from these portions in the darkest time, right smack in the middle of the 3 weeks of mourning? It's explained. We'll begin with the first portion of Mattos. Normally the Jewish tribes are called Shvatim. Shevet is a root. Mate is a stick. What is the difference between a root and a stick? A root is right after you pulled the branch off, it's a root. It's soft, you can bend it, it still has the softness of the tree. Once it lays for a long time, it becomes hard like a stick. Why does the portion here call the Jewish tribes Mattos and not Shvatim, the tribes of God, which Shevet is a root? So it's explained in Chassidus, and the Rebbe explains that Mate is a strength that the stick has because it was separated. There's a certain strength in the wood that is only revealed once it's ripped off the tree for a long time. There's a certain strength in the Jew that only is revealed and comes to the forefront through being disconnected and having the difficulties of exile. That's the first portion telling us, Mattos, don't be downtrodden by the golus, the exile, and the separateness of God. Know that through this, the very strength of your soul is being revealed. There's a period in the Jewish history known as the Kantonisten. This was Tsar Nikolai 150 years ago, would take Jewish boys at the age of 8 and take them for 25 years to the Russian army and try to convert them. They were beaten. These were simple Jews, but with strong commitment, and they were beaten all over. They had signs of being beaten all over them. They were strong Jews, but barely knew how to read Aleph Beis because they didn't have the time to get educated. They came to the holy Tzemach Tzedek. They had a week off, a Shabbos, a weekend off, and they asked the Tzemach Tzedek to tell them Chassidus that they can understand and appreciate. And the Tzemach Tzedek told them a long mimer, and the gist of it was, if there's boiling hot water, where could you put, which limb would you put in the hot water? First, your head or your foot? Even though there's less intellect in the foot, but it's more committed to God. So there's a strength in the soul that's only revealed through the trials and tribulations of the exile. Masei, the second portion, tells us about the 42 trips. Some of the trips were negative, but all of the trips are to bring us to the ultimate goal, the final trip, which is Yarden Yerechoi, which is the Jordan River by Jericho, which is connected with Messiah. So these two portions are telling us, don't be so depressed and think that God has forsaken you know that it's only to bring about a greater strength and a greater revelation. Hence the Rebbe's novel approach to the 9 days. Although they are days of mourning, you should try to make a siyum, a celebration for finishing a tractate of Talmud every day. A celebration which is permitted according to the Jewish law. Because you know that the difficulties are only to bring about a greater good. So you don't feel lost. And you don't feel abandoned, God forbid. You still feel God's love. That's why we scream Chazak, Chazak, V'nis Chazek. But as the Rebbe said, with all the explanations, what we achieve by going through the hardships of exile, enough is enough. We've suffered close to 2,000 years. We don't want another minute of this. And enough is enough. Enough what we have accomplished. We are ready and begging and pleading to God to transform these 3 weeks and especially the 9 days into the happiest days of the year very soon through all our good deeds in adding in Torah study and in charity in this special period. Have a wonderful week.